Hey guys, Kerberos here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Kyutama Gattai 111 Deluxe Kerberos Voyager from Uchu Sentai Kyuranger. This is a special Voyager released to tie in to Kyuranger the movie that can combine with the other Voyagers to form a new mecha. This includes two things, the Kerberos Voyager and Cerberus Kyutama. So, let's get started. To start, we'll take a look at the included Kyutama 111, the Kerberos Kyutama, which is based on the now obsolete Cerberus constellation, which is part of the Hercules constellation now. So, this looks like a clear gray Kyutama, but actually has a slightly greenish tinge to it. You can see the two fractured parts of the image on the front and back. Now if we mouse slide it, you get the full image of Cerberus, the three-headed dog, and that gets me into a couple of key points about it. One being the name Kerberos Kyutama, which is actually, well, with Kerberos actually being the original Greek spelling of Cerberus. Then the number 111. Now, a lot of people would read it as 111 or 111, but it actually is supposed to be read as 111 because it's really a pun, since in Japanese it's supposed to be read as 111, the sounds of dogs barking. So really, it does stand out from other Kyutamas since the number itself isn't important, but rather the pun that the numbers make. So then we have the back and the bottom with the pin set. So, next up we'll use it with the Seiza Blaster. Let's set it in. Then activate attack mode. And you can see that it recognizes it just as a generic Kyutama. So if we say do some of the other modes, it'll just say Q Voyager. And just give us the generic control sound, and this is unfortunately the kind of big glaring flaw of the Seiza Blaster, which is that they decided to make Kyutamas for the amount of sounds in the Seiza Blaster, and this is one of the ones that there is no sound for. Next, we'll look at the Kerberos Voyager itself, which we first need to complete by taking the Kerberos Kyutama and placing it in the back, like so. So here we have it. It is a teal color, which appears a lot more bluish on camera than it really is. In real life, or rather in person, it has a more greenish tinge to it. And as you can see from the shape, this is a retool and recolor of the Shishi Kyutama. So if we bring in, or rather it's a retool of Shishi Voyager. If we bring in Shishi Voyager, we can see they do have a lot of the same parts. And the biggest difference you'll notice being the one head on Shishi Voyager compared to the three heads on Kerberos Voyager. But those are actually using the Kyutama ports. As you can see, it does still have the same claws on the underside. So, obviously this is based on Cerberus the three-headed dog, or Kerberos as it's originally called. Though the pretty clever thing is that rather than having them all be the same kind of head, in this case we have three heads based on three different breeds of dogs. Those being a Husky, Bulldog, and Doberman respectively. And each one has a different eye color, with the middle one having red, the left having green, and the right having yellow. And for each of them, you can open up their jaws. And each jaw does open in a different way, or at least has different amounts to which it can open. And they even have these molded on claws. As for the parts themselves, these are not permanently molded in parts, but rather just kind of take the form of Kyutama and are placed into the Kyutama ports. The same goes for the other side. So, next up we can get to the lights and sounds. So we need to switch it on here at the bottom.
Kerberos
can see that it announces its name to start and flash through a multicolor LED, which is the big gimmick for Kerberos Voyager. So, start will go through the sounds that it has on its own. So first, the announcement. Then the first bark sound. The second bark sound. And the third bark sound, obviously to represent the 3 different dog heads. Then it cycles back to the beginning. Next up, we can combine with the other Q Voyagers, which are sold separately, and for the official combination, we'll need the Uchu Voyager, Hibitsukai Voyager, Chameleon Voyager, and Kajiki Voyager. So, to start, we'll transform the Kerberos Voyager. We'll fold in the back boosters, flip around the 3 heads, and then it's ready. Then, take the Uchu Voyager and Hibitsukai Voyager and turn them into their leg modes. Attach those as the legs. Then we will remove the Kyutama from the Chameleon and Kajiki Voyagers. Attach them to the sockets here as the arms. And for the last step, we'll come up here, flip down the face, and switch it to its robot mode by pressing and holding down the button. And so here we have Kerberios. And as you can see, this is obviously very similar to Kyuranger in its form, in the way it combines with the other mechs as well. Though it is, of course, missing a couple of Kyutama, which are replaced with the dog head parts. So we'll just come up here to the head. We can see the new face, which has a faceplate, some nice blue eyes, as well as what looks like fangs on the sides. And it is pretty clever how with the rotating heads, you have the 3 dogs' heads facing forward, regardless if it's in the Voyager or Mecha mode. You also have the lights and sounds, for which I'm actually going to switch off the lights to make them easier to see. We'll start by pressing the button. And we get the combination completion sound. Then we can get to the 3 elemental attack sounds. First, a fire attack. Then a lightning attack. And finally an ice attack. And that's why it cycles through red, blue, and yellow at the beginning. Then we have the Super Galaxy. And for the final electronic feature, you can press the hold the button one more time. That switches to Super Galaxy mode, where we can get an enhanced version of the Super Galaxy attack, as well as play a little minigame. So the goal here is to stop it when it hits the red, yellow, and blue lights. Then it'll get faster. And when you've matched up the 3 different colors, it'll activate the Super Galaxy. Now let's do that again. I can show you a couple of other little details about it. If you get a wrong color, that's just keep on cycling. It also doesn't have to be in the specific order. And then we can cycle back through the different modes. Now, of course, with this thing using the same Kyutama joints, this can combine with the other mechs. For example, if we want to make this more of an alternate version of Kyuranger, we can take off Hibitskai Voyager and replace it with Okami Voyager. We get that. Or we can take off all of the joints and combine them with the other Voyagers. So in addition to Hibitskai, we'll also use Tenbin, Sasori, and Washi. This way we can have both Kyuranger and Kerberios standing side to side, and it uses all of the main 9 Q Voyagers. And honestly, I would have preferred if the combination was more like this, though of course it would have had to use the dog heads for these two, but I just would have liked it if this official combination used these 4 Mecha, since officially Washi, Hibitskai, and Tenbin weren't used for any kind of official combination, and with these 2 still being left out, it doesn't really feel that great, and it just would have had a better feeling to be able to see these 2 kind of duke it out looking like this. But of course, that is the good thing about the toys, is that you can make your own combinations as you see fit. And before I get to my conclusion, I'm just going to throw in this part as a kind of after-the-fact thing, which is to show you guys a close-up image of the Hin image in the Cerberus Kyutama, which I'll be using Kyuranger for. And as you can see, it is an image of 3 dog heads circling each other. And there we go. So overall, the Kerberos Voyager is a very cool summer movie mech. It's definitely clever of them to have used the Kyutama shoulder joints in order to put in these new parts to create the Cerberus 3-head dog look. And it was also pretty clever of them to have designed it to have 3 different dog breed heads. And there are also some nice, more subtle details like the spiked collars on the left and right heads, as well as, of course, the claws down there. It is also, at the same time, a little bit disappointing in that they did kind of strip some of the features from it. As you can see, there are clear parts here for where there would be light piping for it to illuminate those joints, though they probably did just because the default formation would have them covered up. And unfortunately, on the bottom, you can also see that they use these filler pieces to prevent it from combining with Uteo and Gigantoho to make the further combination. So it is unfortunately a little bit limited in those features. And while you can kind of take this apart and remove these spacers, you would have to take the clips from other toys and put them in here in order to facilitate those combinations. But that being said, it is cool to have another kind of body for the Kyutama combinations. And it definitely is nice to be able to use some of your other Voyagers. The only problem that this leads to is the fact that there are unfortunately an uneven amount of arm and leg Voyagers. So, even if you wanted to have a display where you had Kureno, Ryuteo, Giganto, and Kerberios, unfortunately one of them would be missing a limb. So that kind of makes me wish that for the Koguma and Oguma Voyagers, they were two full-size Voyagers, each with their own Kyutama. Just so that we wouldn't have a situation with one of them missing a limb unless you decide to buy two of one of the other Voyagers. But that is separate from the actual toy itself, and I'd say that this is definitely a cool toy that I would recommend to Kyuranger fans. So, next time I'll be reviewing the Kurakure Patra and Hinotori Yokai emblems. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe. And for now, this is Kerberios 50, riding off.